But I always try and make my rents affordable. Hey, man.
I recognize you. You're my strapper.
Yeah, nice.
How are you doing, Ely?
When you come to places like Bali, Indonesia, and you give off good vibes, you notice the women and the men are extremely friendly. Let's call this video, why are Asian women so friendly? Now, people might laugh at that and go, well, I have a different experience. Well, my experience is with traditional Asian women and men. There's a little pussycat in there. They are just very, very friendly. As long as you're giving off good vibes too. You know, they just reciprocate so well. There's a little kitten up there. What's going on here? You know, I'll put this phone. I'll see what this cat's doing. If he needs any help. Hey, he's fine. He's pretty well fed. A lot of little bugs and stuff to hunt. But you'll see that a lot of guys. There's a snake down there. No. You'll see a lot of guys, they call them passport bros, etc. Hashtag passport bros. And they get criticised by the Karens in Australia and US and stuff like that. But you see, you know, like you'll see, and you can see Western, so those girls there, the Asian girls, they've been influenced by the Western system, like just like cut your calves, just wear a tracksuit and just be like thumping around. And then you have the other chicks that you see in my videos who are carved up, wearing next to nothing, and just being able to go full gas, and their vibe is very, very attractive. They're running mouth open, they're giving it some gas, they're not slumping around. So again, it depends on not so much the race of the individual, but how much influence they've let the Western system infiltrate into their mind in a negative way. Now, there's definitely pros to the West, and I love living both sides of the fence. It's got Western elements, got Eastern elements, you know, because it's like, some of your Western stuff's really good, like, you know, some sunglasses or some helmet or just things like that, which are actually made in Asia as well. So, you know, so where actually they come from, who knows? But in general, I'm more Eastern philosophy. I'm more living in the East, the diets, the nutrition, the bicycle lifestyle, things like that. You know, that's what I prefer. Another girl on the bike here, you know, just ripe for conversation. It's just amazing. You know, I mean, every girl out there looking for a guy who's into fitness. It's just like, I should say, every fitness girl out there is looking for a guy to support her fitness lifestyle. It's just facts, you know? It's just facts. And, you know, it's just, guys, you got to earn your value, provide your value, and then you are set for life in many, many good things. If you know, you know. Where we go with this conversation, so why are these women so friendly? It's just, they just live much more simple lifestyles, and they're full of rice, you know? The friendly ones are full of rice, and it's just, you know, they're just eating that. You go to their houses or their little huts or little tin shacks, and there's a rice cooker or there's a rice pot on all the time. All right, all the time there's rice on. So they just got that carb, they've got that serotonin, they've got that dopamine going on all the time. And so obviously they're female, so there's still ups and downs, but the ups and downs aren't as full on as in the West, when people are doing these keto diets or restricting carbohydrate or running on caffeine and avoiding eating carbs and all this nonsense. They just have, you know, much more mood issues in that way. And that goes for men as well. All right, any human that restricts carbohydrate intake, whether it's fruit, rice, or sugar, will have, but it would come down largely to the carbohydrate intake. Because I've been out on long bike rides, or, you know, where you've ran out of carbohydrate and you just didn't prepare properly, and you're fucking literally 90 Ks from the next aid station or servo or whatever, out in the Nullarbor Plain, riding across the Perth, and just literally just fucking crying, man. Crying. And then realizing, hang on, I'm not going to starve to death, it's okay. Another 4 hours of riding in ketosis and I'll be at the gas station. Walk at the gas station, just delusions, just like, you know, just crazy. Good times though, good memories, in hindsight. So it doesn't matter on your upbringing, when you run out of carbs, life just gets fucking tough, man. When you're in ketosis or running on low carbohydrate intake, you're playing life on hard mode. You're pressing hard mode button. You're smashing hard mode button with your fist. Bang, hard mode. Let's play on hard mode, and life just gets so unbelievably harder than it has to be. So you have these women here where they're having rice 3, 4, 5 times a day. They're having sweet drinks, you know, fruits, traditionally. And so they're just years and years and years of that. They're just fucking so feminine. You know, they're just so like in the best ways. You know, a woman's a woman. She has estrogen. She has more estrogen than testosterone, so she has the moods and ups and downs. And guys, you really got to understand that. Guys, you got to understand the endocrine system of the feminine. All right, you got to understand the estrous cycle. All right, you got to manage that and flow with that versus try and fight it. And it's like me trying to fight the tides. Standing at the beach, put my towel out, my phone and my computer out, have a beach office, and then the tide's coming in, and I'm trying to like fight the tide. No, the tide's coming in, mate. The tide don't care about your feelings or your beach laptop setup. All right, the tide's coming in. That tsunami's rolling in, bro. Same with women. Like, women have their ups and downs. They don't care how you feel. Women do not care how you feel. Okay, it's they care about how you make them feel, and that's okay. A lot of guys really get bitter and twisted over that, and they go gay or whatever, or they just become, you know, misogynist or whatever, just in a bad way. You know, it's like, guys, like, you gotta learn how to. It's like a flat tire, man. People stop cycling because they get a flat tire, or they get 3 flat tires. Like, I'm done with cycling. Cycling's just too hard. Literally, people stop with that, or they start cycling and they think, oh, the seat, I don't like the seat's too painful, so they don't try the seats or different angles, or, you know, don't get a bike fit or do some experimentation. They just like, nah, cycling sucks. Well, they ride a really shitty bike versus a really nice bike that's custom fit for them. You know, it's, yeah, so why make, life's fucking hard, man. Why make life harder than it has to be? Doesn't make any sense to me. So why Asian women nicer in general? Just the carbs, man. That's the main one. Because you can bring them into a low carb environment and their femininity just drops, man. All right? So I would say the main reason is the carbohydrate intake. And then the second one would just be those feminine traditions, Asian nice culture, all right? And every culture's got its pros and cons, all right? It's not perfect here by any means, but it's fucking close to. Southeast Asia, man, it's like, damn. I think all the people who've lived in Australia have never come here and traveled with a bicycle and really got to experience the culture, you've really missed out. And you should come here. You definitely have to come here. It's, you know, every time I come here, I'm like, why am I living in Australia again? Why am I living in Australia? That's a fucking good question sometimes. I mean, Adelaide's killer. Don't get me wrong. Adelaide's the best city in the world to live in a Western system. But, yeah, more come to Asia. But then I do both. Asia and Adelaide. I do both. That's what I'll do, don't I? Last 20 years. That's what I've done.